using healing affirmations the right way. I've been using affirmations for probably about 4 years. I first heard of them in about 2016, and I first tried them in 2019 when I went to a big summit. It was a big seminar. I think it was called the Millionaire Makers Summit, something like that. And it was a big 4-day event, big event with hundreds of people. Very impressive to look at, very impressive to go to if you're into those kind of things, and if you're going to seminars for the first time. It was a free event, and it was run by a big company called Success Resources, and they run a lot of these types of events. They run events by Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, and other big names like that. And this was a T. Harv Eker event, although T. Harv Eker wasn't part of the company anymore. He'd actually sold the company and they were just using his name. Anyway, so I went to this big event, and they gave you a big program and a workbook, and it was, as I say, all very impressive and very inspiring at the time for me. And they included some affirmations and showed you how to do these affirmations and to make it a cellular practice. None of those affirmations worked for me. And the reason none of those affirmations worked for me was A, because I wasn't aligned. My subconscious was in a completely different place. So they were never going to work. And B, they weren't my affirmations. They were affirmations that had been written by the company, by the T. Harv Eker company. So when it comes to affirmations, you may or may not have come across them before. What they're really for is to help to train your brain and your subconscious so that you can become aligned and on the same frequency with what it is that you want to attract. So if you're doing manifestations, and we're manifesting all of the time, and manifesting just means that you're attracting what it is that you want, whether you know it or you don't. And so I started practicing active manifestations a few years ago, and I started properly using affirmations about 4 years ago. And sometimes they work for me and sometimes they don't. But what I have found is that the affirmations about how I feel about myself have come to work for me, have come to be how I actually feel. The affirmations that I've said about attracting money or attracting property or attracting certain people, the affirmations haven't worked. Visualization and scripting has worked for me. Affirmations have helped me to improve my self-esteem, my sense of self-worth, and to build my self-love. And so I'm going to share with you how I have come to make affirmations work with me, so that hopefully you can start to make them work for yourself, and you can try different ones. This is very similar to what we do in the playbook. So if you haven't got my free playbook, I recommend that you go and grab it. So go into either the pinned comment or the card that's going to come up somewhere if I remember to put it in, or the description. Get that free playbook. It's a 3-day playbook, and it's a really gentle way of introducing you to practicing active self-love, to affirmations like this, and to retraining your thoughts and your subconscious so that you can start to attract more resourceful, more supportive, loving relationships and other things into your life. So the affirmations that I like to use are: I release, I am worthy of, and everything I desire. So there are others around. You can use any wording you like, but if you've never used affirmations before, these are the ones I like to use. And I'll give you some examples of what I have used and what I continue to use to attract what I desire into my life. And you can adapt these after you've heard them. So the first is: I release feelings of being not good enough, or I release feeling like I'm not good enough. So what that means is I'm allowing my higher power, my inner power, my divine power, and the universe to take away, because I'm releasing these thoughts, I'm not holding on to these thoughts anymore. I used to feel like I wasn't good enough to attract the right clients. I used to think I wasn't good enough to have my own a decent home because of things that happened as a child that I won't go into here. I used to think that I wasn't worthy of having or good enough to have a loving relationship. I used to feel like I wasn't good enough to make the right amount of money, to make the money that I deserved. I didn't feel like, because I was a punk, because I have red hair, because I've got a shaved side of my head, because I wear band t-shirts and don't wear blouses and high heels and suits, I used to feel like I wasn't good enough, and that other people like you guys would think that I wasn't good enough as well. And so when I started to use these affirmations, I started to believe in myself more. And as I've said in another a more recent video, is when I now try to look for evidence that I'm not good enough to do something, I can't find it because it's not in my belief system anymore. So that's the first. I'm going to give you 3. And the first is, I release feelings of being not good enough. I allow the universe or my divine power to take it away. Okay, so I'm removing those feelings. So if you've seen one of my other videos, you'll know that I like to use the R's, the 3 R's: remove, replace, and review. And in this case, it's repeat. So I release feelings of not being good enough. I replace them with, so the feeling I now have is, I am worthy of real love. I'm worthy of true love. I'm worthy of supportive love. And that's what I have with my fiance now. And the third one is, everything I desire comes to me in abundance, easily and effortlessly, in multiple ways. So that's quite a mouthful, and it's quite a lot to take in. So everything that I desire comes to me in abundance, easily and effortlessly, not easy to say, easily and effortlessly, in multiple ways. And in that way, I'm not putting a restriction on how I receive, on what I receive, on when I receive it. It's everything that I desire. Everything comes to me in abundance. I'm not putting a restriction on it. In easily and effortlessly, I don't have to try hard, in multiple ways. So even in ways that I don't even know exist. And when I say these affirmations, they do feel right. It does feel like it's me saying it. It doesn't feel like I'm just repeating something that someone else has told me, either at an event or in a coaching session or on a video or in a podcast. And I do all of these. I don't really go to big events anymore. I prefer smaller events these days for different reasons. You might like them, and they used to work for me, and I met a lot of great people, and I did find a lot of very practical and emotionally uplifting practices from those seminars as well, from those big events. So if you wanted to take on these affirmations, you can borrow mine if you feel like you're aligned with them. So the first one, I release feeling like I'm not good enough. If that aligns with you, you might want something else. You might want to say something like, I release the feeling that I can't attract enough money, or whatever. Or I release the feeling of always attracting mean men or mean partners. I release the feeling that I'm not good enough for a loving partner. So it could be whatever you wish, whatever you feel, okay? And if you're not sure, close your eyes, look at the inside of your eyelids. And the first thing that comes will probably be the right thing. The second, I am worthy of real love. So it's I release, I am, and everything I desire. So to create your own, close your eyes. The first thing that comes to mind, I release, I am worthy of everything I desire. And if you say this morning, as soon as you wake up, before you can either say it, or you can record it into your phone and play it back to yourself. You can even use an app called Parrot, and if you put this into Parrot, it will play it back over and over and over again, so that you're getting this message over and over again. And I used to do that for about 6 months while I was just getting ready in the mornings. And if you listen first thing in the morning and last thing at night, because of the way that your brain waves work, and I have said this in another video as well, I think it's the visualization video, it will connect into your subconscious and anchor itself into your subconscious much more quickly, and in a way that is more likely to stay and to give you a positive feeling through the day. Now, what we don't want to do is to dwell on this, because if you're always dwelling on what is not quite here for you right now, what is not in your current reality, your current 3D, as we call it, then you can push it away, because it can become desperate. So first thing in the morning and last thing at night, just before you do your visualizations, then you will find that you will start to genuinely have these feelings that you're affirming in your verbal affirmations. So I hope this has helped you to understand more about how you can use healing affirmations to help heal your emotions, so that you can overcome toxic relationships and manifest a good, strong, loving relationship with yourself, and a good, strong, loving relationship with a partner, if that's what you so wish. Stay divine. I'll see you very soon. Stay hydrated. Ciao!